What's up, you guys? My name is Anton, and I do college football videos with the Canes in Focus. As you saw, the first part of this video is going to be spring day 3 highlights, film review. Some of the footage is going to be the same exact place, but it's going to be different angles so you guys get the best look at the quarterbacks and see who you think is doing best. And the last part of this video is going to be my evaluation, but stay around. I'm going to give some interesting news that was not on the film that all college football fans would get kind of interested about, and an interview of one of the Hurricanes head coaches. I know is not in her. She's a Alright, so here's the deal. Here's a breakdown of the spring practice. We're going to start with the wide receiver competition. There's no big news. I'm impressed with their solid, consistent performance, to be honest. I keep seeing them catching balls. I'm not hearing of too many drops. We'll see how good their blocking does. Again, this is early spring practice. KJ Osborne, he's becoming the man. He really is. As is Hartley. He's really solidifying his position. I saw Hightower was doing a little bit better than he was before. Pope is doing all right, and the new recruit is impressing kind of too in Peyton. So we'll see how that goes out. Not big news on that. Offensive line. There's definitely more news on the line today. The starters were the same, and if you haven't noticed, pads. Football pads were on. First day with football pads, which is pretty awesome. The offensive line starters were as follows. Left tackle, G.J. Scaife Jr. Then you had left guard, Navon Donaldson. Center, Corey Gaynor. Right tackle, Zalante Hillary, or right guard, and then right tackle, John Campbell Jr. So it hasn't changed, which is kind of interesting. But I will tell you guys, it needs work. Ford and Neston just destroyed the line. And technically, they're not even in rotation 1. They just went through it, destroyed, ripped them apart. I even asked the report, I said, hey, I thought Butch Barry was the man for the job. How's he doing? How's the line looking? I know spring practice and early. What's going on? They said, look, Butch Barry is he's a very loud guy. He's really energetic, and he's pushing these guys. But there's improvement to be done. And they just left it at that. So it is early spring ball. Hopefully, that'll get their heads knocked around. They'll be like, all right, we got to tighten up. We got to fix this. Secondary, no big news on that. Bandy and Blade stuck, cornerback as far as I know. Knowles was sat out, actually, this practice. precaution reasons, and I'm glad about that. I know not many are big fans of those anyways, but it's good to see that the Miami Hurricanes are taking care of their players' health. Linebacker, not really any big news. I will say the defensive line had some news, and still the same starters. John Ford, a defensive tackle with Pat Bethel. Defensive end was Scott Patcham and Garvin, and Patcham has been impressing and putting in solid work. The second team was Gregory Rousseau, Neston, Jordan Miller, and Harvey, which is interesting for that. I think they're getting the opportunity to the guys that are probably less highly touted and talented guys, but that have a really solid work ethic to say, look, you have to lose this job, so the guys with more talent have to impress us a lot. And it's probably going to happen on some positions, but some guys might stay there. We'll see how that ends up. Banda Rajan talked about Rousseau, that he's putting in solid work in, as is Silvera. It didn't seem like he was crazily impressed with these guys, as in like, oh, he's going to fill in, Jared Willis' shoes, but definitely putting some solid work in there, so that's great to hear about. I will say that Ford and Ness just ripped apart through the line in the drills. It was just tackles for loss all over the place, which is great to see. Unimpressive because, offensive line is not looking good. Great, impressive for the defensive line. So hopefully they'll get at least closer in competition as the spring practice goes on. Running backs, Dallas and Cam both had really nice reps. However, Pat Bethel did get to Davis on a certain play. Again, this is very limited footage that we really get to talk about. But Cam Davis is continuing to have a solid practice week after week, or day after day, I should say. We'll see if it continues week after week going on. Injuries, while they're still out, Lingard and Brian Pollindy are still kind of, tentative and with the knees, and Lingard's not doing running back reps, not all of them at least. Knowles was, taken out for precaution reasons. Notes I want to say is just the energy is great. And I said, hey, hang around, there's going to be something interesting for all football fans. Before I talk about even the quarterback competition, something interesting happened. Out of nowhere, they had this alarm, and the teammates already knew. So the media guys haven't caught on to this, they weren't there for this. Everyone gathers around the 50-yard line, offense and defense. They start making a circle on the U and start hooping and hollering, jumping down, going crazy. There's rap music blaring. Energy, excitement. Hashtag TNM. Let's go on. Basically, WWE style, first day of, the team meetings type of deal. And they're like, what the heck is going on? So apparently, they were doing one-on-one drills. Quarterback versus quarterback. Quarterback versus defensive end, it didn't matter. These guys were going man against man, one-on-one. Not what you usually are called Oklahoma drills. These were called the Big Cane. This is what they call them, the Big Cane. And if you want to know who won, Jaron won because the whole team was screaming out him, crowding him. I believe Garvin won. So that's what, we were able to see him. Kind of cool, interesting to hear about. So I love seeing that. I love seeing the competition, and it's exciting to see that. Jaron won against Kosi, apparently, in the quarterback one-on-one drills. I mean, it's not like exactly that you need a giant quarterback to just destroy everyone. He needed a really good passer, but it's kind of cool to see that Manny Diaz is making a focus of competition, and it's a team-building thing, too, at the same time. Now, quarterback competition. I know you all want to hear about it, so here's the deal. Things to know. The rotation is the same as yesterday, or the practice before. N'Kosi Perry 1, take 2, Jaron is 3. Don't look into that too deeply. Don't think about that too much. It's spring practice. They're just throwing around trying to bat. Perry and Jaron have the best zip on the ball. If you didn't see in the film before, I don't know what you're looking at. You can just hear it. It just flies. It's a zip. It's really good. Jaron has been doing very well. Martell's routes were not the greatest. His out routes were not the greatest. Kosi, he falls behind Jaron slightly in that once in a while he'll have either an overthrown pass and not quite on the money, or he'll throw it, they'll still catch it, but it's not quite like the perfection that you see, which leads me on to Jaron. Jaron seems to be getting a little bit of the edge in the quarterback competition. Keep in mind, this is heck close. Okay, very close. Don't be like, oh my goodness, that's it. Jaron's in the lead. No. This is very limited. Spring day 3, But Jaron has been consistent. That's the word you keep hearing. And I know it sounds not, the shiniest and the most amazing, but look, he's the best passer, and that's what a quarterback got to do. Now, keep in mind, they're not doing any plays that use your feet. You're under pressure and all that. And it's definitely going to, shuffle up once they start doing that, because probably see a flip and Tate being the leader with his legs, Kosi second, and Jaron third. But as of now, Jaron's definitely doing impressively in spring practice, and he's being very subtle, quiet as a leader. In fact, Enos mentioned that he saw him in the practice facility by himself, working and trying, so he's not being very loud about it, and I like that. It's a very interesting way to, look, this is what I do. I'm not going to post it all over social media, and y'all can follow if you want. Now, Last part I'll say is Osborne is definitely out there, but they're doing really 2 tight end sets on offense, which is very interesting. They're doing a lot of 2 tight end sets, so keep an eye out for that. That's all my Canes news. That's my perspective, y'all. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. Guys, college football is a fun and crazy world. Practice is getting heated up. It's still too early, but at the end of the day, doesn't matter. It's always all about the you.
I think the energy was good. I think obviously that's one thing that excites our players, but it's something that we challenge our whole team with is physicality. Something that we're going to be known for forever and ever on both sides of the ball is effort, attitude, and toughness. And I think that was something we challenged them with early, and I thought there was a great deal of it today in the indoor.
It's what we talk about. It's a one-on-one matchup. Everyone wants to talk about a team, and you should. But this is an opportunity to go one-on-one. It's a point of emphasis for our defense, not only for our defense, but for our team. So it brings a lot of juice. It's just 2 guys and only circling up on the U, which I know a lot of the older guys in this program, alumni, understand. So we're going to circle up on you, and we're going to see who's tough. And the biggest thing you got to do in this program, we tell everyone, you have to prove your toughness to the locker room, not to me, not to Coach Diaz or Coach Baker. It's about proving it to the locker room, and that's an opportunity to do that.
You guys didn't have many position changes, but just if you could talk about maybe Frierson, moving him to that striker spot, and then I guess you guys moved, Derek Smith to safety?
Yeah, back to safety.
Right, just the thought process behind all that.
The biggest thing that we try to do in recruiting is find guys that really have a skill set in many areas. Gilbert and Derek had that. We had a lot of – Coach Packey did a great job transitioning Romeo and Derek there last year and gave us a lot of good reps on defense. Gilbert has a lot of those same skill sets. He's a big guy who's long and has worked hard in the offseason. So we said, let's see if he can get it done. So we'll do that in the spring in training camp. We'll experiment and say, okay, let's see what this looks like. So we moved him over, and Coach Packey's done a good job, getting him ready for that opportunity. He's done a good job of just really increasing his urgency and his overall toughness. And something that as a freshman, it's probably what most of the young guys just don't understand. Moving Derek back was just another opportunity for him to get him on the field and see what he can do. Losing Jaquan and Redwine is not, you got to replace 2 really good players. And I'm looking forward to watching him here in the pro day soon, but just to give him a shot to see if he can play some safety for us. So.
If you stayed all the way through the end of this video to this part, thank you so much. You're a true fan and a great supporter of this channel, and I can't thank you enough. I do have one thing I could ask you to do. If you go on any of my videos, there's a link down all the way on the bottom. It's new. It's Patreon. If you could just click it, it's going to throw you out to this website. I'm asking you to do one thing. Just click it. See if you want to support. My name is Anton. I make YouTube videos and Canes Insight, all college football world. Just click the link and look at it. I'm not saying donate, but if you can, I have several tiers set up over there. If you start off, you could do as little as $1. The price, of a little Gatorade bottle, and if you could do, the price of 2 smart water bottles, that's great. That's $5 a month. Anything helps. 10, 15, whatever tier. There's some stuff you get in exchange if you help me support as a creator. I greatly appreciate it.